Interesting there. Wow, you worked hard. One thing that was kind of interesting, kind of just reminded me of dressing up as paintings. Lauren, you could start a whole new line of clothing, like more fashion dresses in painting. Maria Dimas is a teacher, researcher, playwright, and visual artist. When not inspiring a love for theater in students, she can be found either socializing or creating something, even both. Anything really, to keep her from working on her research. Why North Europeans are so scared to touch each other. I want to know.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah. Bonnie, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Okay. Lauren is great. Hi. I just first wanted to start by commenting on how expressive we work is, how much movement is in it. It's quite stunningly beautiful. So please don't take what I'm about to say personally. Okay. The flowers of our lives. I have a confession to make. I hate flowers. I hate the idea of them, giving them to someone. I mean, what are you really doing? That's right, you're giving them something that is already dead. You are demonstrating your appreciation with death. And if you give them to me, from such time, such I count thy love. Let me explain. Philosophically, I question the efficacy of cutting down and destroying these beautiful blooms that nature has so delightfully created for all of Earth's creatures' aesthetic enjoyment. Does the raccoon or the crow mercilessly end these perennial pleasers? No, it is woman and man with her arrogance and selfishness. They're to blame for the slaughter of each and every delicate flower that has ever been given to every person from the beginning of our tenuous tenure here on Earth. And in the name of what? In the name of love, we so freely take the lives of these provocative plants. The first time I ever received flowers from a man was when I was 18. And like anyone when you're 18, we were so in love. It was Valentine's Day, actually what I think should be renamed Rose Armageddon. We were like any young couple in that we completely gave ourselves away to each other to the point that we became and did the things that we thought the other wanted. I became a homemaker extraordinaire, cooking fantastic variations of every young person's staple, crab dinner. I spent as many of my waking moments with you as I could, slowly letting my other relationships and hobbies take a backseat to you, my primary relationship. And you did the same. Working hard to pay the bills, you immersed yourself in work life to afford me all that your meager salary could afford. You forwent all the things that you were passionate about, hiking and drumming and spending time with your friends. We both turned our backs on what had initially drawn us together for this idea of what we thought the other wanted. And irony raised her cold, gnarly hand and slapped both of us in the face. So it was with this end in sight, though neither of us could see it at the time, that you gave me a dozen dead red roses. Each one a harbinger of the impending demise of our love. The last time I received flowers from a man, he should have known better. I had told him, after all, that I thought flowers to be an audacious gift. We had even spoke about the ridiculousness of Valentine's Day, and like any other informed, socially conscious 30-somethings, we decided not to participate in the commercialism of this hollow holiday. At least, that's what you said. We spoke those words. We made a pact. And because I had seen you the day before and would see you the day after, I made plans with somebody else. when I returned home to my apartment that fateful evening, only to find 12 yellow roses slaughtered for the offering, I knew it was a sign. The card read, "Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you had a good time." And that knife of guilt that my mother had so keenly sharpened all those years penetrated my solar plexus and deflated my body. Because I knew from those dead flowers, from that time, such did you account my love. The only man really in my life that could ever give me flowers was my papu, my mother's father, and it was only one flower. The red carnation that he wore on his lapel to church every Sunday. After the service, he would give me that flower and pin it to my own shirt. He was a lovely man that smelled of 3 things: cigars, certs, and that carnation. A quiet, calm man who balanced the shrill of my acid-tongued grandmother. And I loved him. Even if I was sick, he would take me to the corner store and he would fill me up with all kinds of delectable kinds of junk foods that I would probably throw up. His hearty laugh juxtaposed with the shrill of my grandmother as she cleaned up my regurgitated offerings. As the years wore on and Alzheimer's took its course, he forgot that he smoked. He no longer had any certs in his pocket, and the red carnation from his lapel had all but disappeared. His passing was my first introduction to the death of a loved one, and like everyone's first death, it was disconcerting. The shock of seeing the hollow, lifeless, cold shell of a man was mitigated by only one thing. Someone had remembered. For in that coffin, dressed in his Sunday best, attached to his lapel, my papu wore one single red carnation. So when I tell you that I hate flowers, the idea of them, of giving them to someone, something that's already dead, it's because they've come to represent in my own life death. Death of a relationship, death of a loved one, death of the plant itself. And if you give them to me from this time, such I account thy love. Thank you.